In today's episode, you'll stop worrying about everything after hearing this. We'll explore ways to bring more clarity, calm, and mindfulness into your day. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the inspiring stories and wisdom we'll share next. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt free of worry? Not pretending to be fine, not forcing a smile to hide the stress, but genuinely feeling light, present, and at peace. For so many of us, that feeling feels like a distant memory. We tell ourselves, I'll finally relax when I get that promotion, when my health improves, when life finally settles down. But here's the truth. That perfect moment we're waiting for rarely comes. Life is always shifting, always presenting new challenges. And if we keep postponing happiness until everything is flawless, we may spend our entire lives waiting. Buddhism offers a different way, a gentle reminder that peace isn't something we'll find in the future after we've fixed everything. It's something we can touch right now, in this moment, exactly as life is. In this video, we're going to explore 8 powerful lessons rooted in Buddhist wisdom, each one designed to help you release worry, embrace presence, and rediscover joy. These aren't abstract theories. They're practical, life-changing truths you can start using today. So take a deep breath. This might just be the reminder your soul has been waiting for. Take a moment right now and notice your breath, in and out. Feel your feet on the floor, your body resting wherever you are. For just a second, let yourself really arrive here. The truth is, the present moment is the only safe place we will ever have. Think about it. The past is gone. It only exists as a story in your memory. The future hasn't happened yet. It's just a picture your imagination paints, often filled with what-ifs. But worry doesn't care about that, does it? It pulls you into those stories, and before you know it, your heart races, your chest tightens, and your body reacts as if you're in danger, even when you're sitting safely at home. Have you ever noticed that? How your body tenses over problems that haven't even happened? That's how powerful your mind is. But here's the good news. The moment you return to the present moment, to your breath, the sound of birds outside, the feeling of your hands resting in your lap, everything changes. Your nervous system begins to calm, your thoughts slow, your chest feels lighter. The present moment is not an idea. It's a place, a refuge, a safe harbor you can return to anytime. And here's something beautiful. Worry cannot survive in reality. It only feeds on imagination. The more you practice grounding yourself here, the more you realize you don't have to live in fear of tomorrow. So the next time your mind starts racing, gently tell yourself, right now I'm safe. Right now I'm breathing. And that's enough. This simple act of presence is like an anchor in the middle of life's storms. It's where true freedom begins. So many of us hear the word acceptance and immediately think it means weakness, like we're giving up or letting life walk all over us. But true acceptance isn't about surrendering your power. It's about finally seeing reality as it is, without the constant fight to make it something else. Think about how much energy we waste resisting life. A breakup happens, and instead of grieving, we spend months replaying every detail, wishing we could rewrite the past. A delay at work frustrates us, and we spiral into stress instead of simply adjusting. That resistance, that inner "this shouldn't be happening," is what creates so much suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop caring or stop trying to make things better. It simply means you stop fighting what's already here. You stop pretending that pain or disappointment isn't real, and you give yourself permission to breathe through it. And something incredible happens when you do. Your body softens, your mind clears, and suddenly there's space for healing and wise action. Peace doesn't come because life finally matches your plans. Peace comes when you let go of needing it to. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to stop fighting reality and start walking with it? Have you ever noticed how your mind never stops talking? Thousands of thoughts float through your head every single day, some helpful, some random, and many rooted in fear or doubt. But here's the truth most of us forget. Just because a thought shows up doesn't mean it's true, and it certainly doesn't mean it deserves your full attention. Worry thrives when we believe every story our mind tells. One simple "what if something goes wrong" can spiral into a full-blown nightmare in your head, leaving you anxious over problems that don't even exist. But mindfulness teaches us something powerful. Your thoughts are not you. They are not facts. They are just passing events in your mind. Imagine your mind as the sky and your thoughts as clouds drifting by. Some are dark and stormy, others light and beautiful, but none of them change the vastness of the sky. You are the sky, calm, steady, unshaken no matter how many clouds pass through. When you learn to watch your thoughts instead of chasing them, you take your power back. Freedom doesn't come from silencing your mind, but from no longer obeying every story it tells. That's when real peace begins. Have you ever noticed that no matter how intense your emotions feel, they never stay the same forever? Think back to a time when you were heartbroken, terrified, or overwhelmed. At that moment, it felt endless, didn't it? But here you are, watching this video, proof that even your worst days couldn't hold you forever. This is the truth of impermanence. Everything changes. And when we deeply understand this, even fear begins to lose its grip on us. Fear often convinces us that we'll feel this way forever, that the panic, the sadness, or the stress will never end. But emotions are like waves. They rise, they peak, and eventually they fall. Nothing in nature stays stuck, and your feelings are no different. When you remember this, you stop fighting your emotions and start meeting them with patience and gentleness. Next time fear shows up, try whispering to yourself, "This is just a moment. It will not last." That small reminder creates space between you and the emotion. It helps you breathe, stay grounded, and trust that time has a way of carrying you through. Life becomes lighter when you see emotions as passing visitors instead of permanent roommates. You can welcome them, learn from them, and let them leave when it's time. Because no matter how heavy this moment feels, change is always on its way. Let's be honest, how much of your stress comes from trying to control things that were never yours to control in the first place? We try so hard to make life bend to our plans, to make people act the way we expect, to avoid every disappointment. But here's the truth, control is an illusion. The more tightly we grip, the more anxious we feel. Think about it. Have you ever been stuck in traffic, frantically checking your watch as if worry could magically make the cars move faster? Or tried to change someone's opinion only to feel drained and frustrated? These moments remind us that no matter how much effort we put in, we cannot control everything. Not other people, not the future, not even our emotions all the time. And that's okay. Real strength comes when we learn to act with intention, but release our attachment to the outcome. You still show up, you still do your best, but you stop believing that peace comes only when life goes your way. When you loosen your grip, something surprising happens. You feel lighter. You start trusting that life has its own flow, and you don't have to fight it every step of the way. Surrender isn't weakness, it's courage. It's choosing to stop wrestling with what you cannot change and instead open yourself to what life is offering right now. True freedom begins the moment you let go of control and allow yourself to simply be. You know that little voice in your head that always whispers, "What if this goes wrong?" Or "What if you're not ready?" Most of us spend years trying to shut it down, to silence it with self-criticism, or to pretend we're not afraid. But here's the thing. Your inner voice isn't your enemy. It's not here to sabotage you. That worried voice is simply trying to protect you, even if it's doing it in a clumsy way. Think of it like a scared child tugging at your sleeve. Would you yell at that child for being afraid? Of course not. You'd kneel down, offer reassurance, and remind them they're safe. What if we treated our fear the same way? Instead of fighting or shaming it, we could meet it with kindness. We could say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I hear you, but I've got this." This shift changes everything. When you speak kindly to your fears, they begin to soften. You build trust with yourself. Your mind becomes a safer, calmer place to be, not a battlefield. And over time, fear loses its power to control you. Healing doesn't come from silencing your inner critic with force. It begins when you listen, reassure, and guide that voice like a compassionate friend. So the next time fear shows up, instead of pushing it away, try leaning in and asking, "What do you need to feel safe right now?" How often do we tell ourselves, "I'll finally be happy when we get the promotion, when we lose the weight, when life is finally perfect?" But here's the truth. Joy doesn't come as a prize for achieving some distant goal. It's not waiting at the finish line of your to-do list. Joy is something we practice right now, in this very moment. Think about it. Have you ever had a simple cup of tea on a quiet morning, or felt the sun on your skin after a long day indoors? Those tiny moments remind us that happiness was never far away. We've just been too busy chasing someday to notice it today. The Buddhist perspective is simple but powerful. Stop postponing happiness. Life will never be perfectly neat or completely predictable, but that's not a problem. It's an invitation. We can choose gratitude and presence even in the middle of chaos. Every breath you take, every step you walk, is an opportunity to come back to joy. This isn't about pretending everything is fine or ignoring your struggles. It's about training your mind to see what's already good, even while working through the hard parts. Joy becomes a habit when we slow down, notice, and appreciate. So maybe ask yourself, what if happiness isn't something you have to earn? What if it's been right here, patiently waiting for you to notice it? Sometimes joy is as simple as a deep breath, a smile, or a moment of stillness. Have you ever noticed how worry has this way of hijacking your mind, pulling you into imagined scenarios that haven't even happened yet? It thrives in that space, feeding on resistance, clinging to control, and making us feel like we're constantly one step away from disaster. But here's the thing. Peace isn't found in controlling every detail of life. Peace comes when we return to presence, when we choose acceptance, and when we learn to meet ourselves with compassion. Buddhist teachings offer a timeless wisdom here. At their core are three powerful principles: mindfulness, impermanence, and self-kindness. Mindfulness helps us come back to this moment, the only moment we truly have. Impermanence reminds us that nothing, not even our pain or fear, lasts forever. And self-kindness teaches us to soften the harsh voice inside, to treat ourselves like a friend instead of a critic. These aren't just spiritual concepts, they're practical tools we can use every single day. Emotional suffering often intensifies not because of what's happening, but because of how tightly we fight against it. Think about it. How much energy have you spent resisting reality, replaying mistakes, or trying to control outcomes that were never yours to control? The moment you pause, take a breath, and let life flow, even just a little, you'll feel something shift. There's a lightness that comes with trust, a freedom in allowing things to be as they are. And here's the final takeaway. Joy is not waiting for you at some distant milestone. It's not a trophy for having the perfect life or reaching every goal. Joy is a conscious practice, a choice we make daily to notice the good that's already here. When you stop chasing happiness and start practicing it, you realize it was never far away.
So maybe the question isn't, how do I fix everything so I can finally be happy? But how can I bring kindness, acceptance, and presence into this moment? Because when you do, peace stops feeling like a mystery and starts feeling like home. At the heart of all this, true freedom isn't about having the perfect life or finally reaching a point where nothing scares you anymore. It's about coming home to this moment, right here, right now. Freedom begins when you loosen your grip on control, when you stop wrestling with every uncertainty, and when you start treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a loved one. Fear only has power when we believe every thought it whispers. But when you understand impermanence, that every emotion, every storm, every challenge eventually passes, you begin to see fear for what it is, a visitor, not your identity. Thoughts will come and go, but you don't have to live as if every single one defines you. Imagine what it would feel like to let those worries drift by like clouds in the sky, instead of holding on to each one as if it were a storm. And here's the beautiful truth. Peace and joy aren't waiting for you at the finish line of some distant goal. They're right here, in this breath, in the warmth of sunlight on your face, in the quiet moments you often rush past. The more you slow down and notice, the more life reveals its beauty, not because everything is perfect, but because you're present enough to see it. So, take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself, you don't need to control everything to be okay. In fact, life feels lighter when you stop trying so hard to hold it all together. Freedom isn't about escaping fear. It's about learning to live fully, even with it. And in that space of presence and kindness, you'll find that peace was never out of reach. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to pause, breathe, and let it sink in. And if you'd like to keep exploring ways to live with more peace and freedom, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next video. I'd also love to hear from you. What lessons spoke to your heart today? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your journey might inspire someone else who needs these words too. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, peace isn't something you chase, it's something you choose right here, right now.